Hey, what's going on, everyone? For all those who may not know who I am, um, I'm Rev J, and this is Let's Talk About It. And I have a special guest on tonight, Dorrisee, um, and she is going to be talking about um, um, how she is helping people and going to be helping people even more so to get start a career with the Department of Justice. Um, so before we get started with our conversation, first let me tell you one of the reasons why I do this podcast is to let inform people about different things. I've been fortunate to learn a lot, have done a lot, done some good things and some bad things. I've been able to learn and meet people. I've been able to meet a lot of great people, and one of this sometimes the hard part about it is that you don't get to meet the people I meet. So when I get to meet somebody amazing, and I think that can really help a lot more people, I said no, I come on my show, and that's what happened with myself and Dorrisee. We were on a networking on Alignable, a video speed networking event on Alignable, and we got in a room together, and she told me that she worked for the FBI. I said, interesting. Um, um, and then she told me she was like from Newark. I said, it's even more interesting. And then she told me that there's an FBI office in Newark. I said, that's even more interesting because I grew up in Newark and I never knew there was an FBI office right in the heart of Newark. I used to probably pass it every single day. Unfortunately, fortunately, I wasn't that bad of a person, so I never got a chance to meet them. Because if the FBI comes to your house, you in some trouble. If the police come knocking your door, you might be in trouble. If the FBI come knocking at your door, you're in some trouble. No question about it. No question about it. But today, so when I met her, and she told me what she did, and she told me what she's going to be doing very soon, I said, "No, what? Can you please come on my show because I want to let the world know, more of the world know about what you're doing, and that's what we're all about here. And also, one of my goals with this show is to celebrate entrepreneurship, especially African American entrepreneurship. When I was growing up, I never knew being an entrepreneur was could be part of the plan. And then when I started doing it, I said, this is a life, especially when it's going well. It's a life. I'll be even after this show, we're gonna bring up other entrepreneurs to talk about what they do and to share. And my goal, we actually working on something to help more entrepreneurs get more exposure. Matter of fact, this week somebody called me and said they're looking for a service like mine that I offer, and she said she found me on Google. I said, great, that's wonderful. I said, I need more exposure to get more business. So to not belabor the moment, we're gonna get into this conversation. So we're gonna ask Dorrisee to tell the audience about yourself.
Hey, so hi everyone. And Josh, thank you for that introduction. But I just want to say the FBI could come to your house for a background check on an applicant. So please don't think if the FBI comes to your house, it is because you are in trouble. My neighbors get scared every 5 years when I get my reinvestigation done.
Oh.
Okay. So I would like to say I'm Dorrisee Shakiulah, and I am the administrative officer for the FBI in Newark, New Jersey. And I always tell people it's an honor, first of all, and a privilege to have Joshua invite me today because I have a passion for finding talent and those that are interested in serving and being a public servant like myself. In my FBI career, I have to say that I'm a survivor. And what I mean by that is I have survived 5 FBI directors.
Mm,
I have survived 19 heads of office in
mm,
North New Jersey. And I have had now 41 direct supervisors that supervised me. And out of that 41 uh, assistant directors, only 7 have been women, and none of them have been African American
wow.
or people of color. So that is why I have a passion for recruiting people of color for not only the FBI, but for federal employment, because I find that it is a secret hidden talent. It's a job that has so many rewards and opportunities, but you have to know how to navigate through the federal hiring process to get there. So one of the things with DOJ is we do have different components, as I said before. We have not only the FBI, but we have ATF, which is the alcohol, tobacco, and firearms. And we also have DEA, which is the Drug Enforcement Administration. Those are a couple of the other alphabets. However, what makes the FBI unique and what I'm proud of is they only have one mission: alcohol, tobacco, firearms is in their title.
Mm,
DEA, Drugs Enforcement Administration. But the FBI has over 200 violations that we cover. It could
wow.
be crimes against children, it can be violent crimes, it can be public corruption, it can be bank robberies, fugitives, uh, crimes on the Indian reservation. It's a very vast and wide areas that we cover. And so right now, I have over 300 employees that
Mm,
are under my administrative operations umbrella. They fall into clerical, investigative, and technical categories. And so a lot of people also have the misconception that FBI all carry weapons and that is all you see on TV, but that is not the whole piece. We are what we call the professional staff. We're the gears behind every operation, and we touch every
mm,
operation. In addition to that, the FBI never closes. And so, therefore, we have a 24-hour staff, and they work a swing shift, anything from 3 to 11 to 11 to 7,
mm,
which is also 7 a.m., which is also ideal for those students that are trying to get their college degree, because you do not have to have a college degree to be a professional staff
wow.
employee.
Okay.
You do need one to be a special agent. And again, that's one of those misconceptions that people have. And so I like to share that because of the fact that you get to grow in the FBI the same way I did. My road 41 years ago, I started as a typist, and
Wow.
I started as a stenographer back then when we used to take dictation from a live person. We didn't have Siri, or we didn't have all those other machines that we do
The
have.
real way, right?
So they had to actually talk to you, and you would type the information for the file. So I started there, and after a year, I realized that was just not for me. And so I went into the HR realm and became personnel management. And I worked my way through that, Josh, until I one day decided to take my Shahada and become Muslim.
Mm,
And when I told my supervisor that I was going to take my Shahada and become Muslim, that was during the time of Nation of Islam, and there was not much education about Muslims' Islamic faith. There was only, again, what folks saw on TV or what their views of. And so they panicked. And
mm,
they started putting a lot of restrictions on me. I couldn't go pray. I couldn't dress. They were worried that I was going to wear something long and get caught in the elevator. Go figure. There was all kind of issues. And then one day, God just came out of nowhere the way he always does. And someone suggested I contact EEO. And that's what I did. I got EEO on the phone. I just asked questions. I wasn't looking to do anything, but they told me, you have rights. You have rights, and you can observe your religion just like everyone else. Well, armed with that is what I took back to my supervisors. And to make a long story short, I realized at that moment that that was my purpose, because if I had not spoken up and done the research to find out what my rights were, they would have continued to tell me how I was supposed to be in that space. And I realized there probably are others that are just like me that wouldn't do that because they would be afraid of losing their job. And so I decided to go into leadership. And I didn't get it the first few times, but I was persistent because I knew that was my purpose. And it worked out. I got into leadership as a typing supervisor, and I worked my way up until now. I am the highest ranking African-American Muslim woman in the state of New Jersey for the FBI. I was named number 4 as far as African Americans in the FBI by the time I got to senior leadership. And now I'm glad to see we're moving forward. We're starting to open that door a little bit, but we actually need more. If we don't get more diverse workforce within the FBI and DOJ and the other federal government facilities and agencies, we are not going to be able to reach the goal of leadership, senior leadership, and start making changes from within. The possibilities are there, but we have to get in there first in order to make those differences. And so now I am on the side of, as I said, 41 years. I've held this position for about 18 now. And what keeps me going every day is the fact that I continue to develop people. I continue to not only coach them, but mentor them. And from entry level all the way up to where they want their careers to be. I have folks now that are started at entry level. They're agents now. They're supervisors. They're in leadership. They are all over the world. To include, I have one that will be going to Africa at the end of this year on a 2-year temporary duty assignment. And so that is where my passion is, and that is where my reward is being able to hold that door open, even if it's just a little bit, to offer those opportunities to not only employees, but graduating students. I talk to middle schools. I go to charter schools. I talk to high schools as well, just so that they know what they do now, the choices they make now, the friends that they hang out with now could impact their future later. Anyone in the FBI has to have a top secret clearance. And so it's not just a drug screening, but it's actually a polygraph also. That has to be done. And it doesn't matter what position you're in. And they do that every 5 years. And so therefore, you have to have lived the right path in order for you to get past the background investigation. And so I talk to the kids just so that they know how math plays, science, writing, reading comprehension, even now with coding, because STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math, that is our future. that is what we're going to need just to sustain and keep up, because trust me, the criminals, they're already on it, and
Oh, wow.
we're behind. So if we're going to compete, we have to learn math, coding, computer engineering, in order for us to keep up and keep evolving with time.
So, as you said, you work for the FBI, but the Department of Justice is the umbrella that
Yes.
all other agencies go under. So, even a person that that's at Rutgers, graduated with the engineering degree,
Mm-hmm.
could find some place in the Department of Justice to work at.
Absolutely.
That's cool.
As a matter of fact, right now we have what we call a data analyst,
Uh-huh.
and the data analyst will actually look for trends. They do a lot of geospatial work. They crunch a lot of numbers in order to actually find trends in order to make cases work.
Mm-hmm.
They do a lot of statistical work as well. We have our own radios with car radios in it, so we have to use engineers in order to keep up
Yeah.
with radio data systems. We have IT, we have automotive mechanics, we
Oh,
have
yeah.
nurses. So those things all play a role, and we all have the same mission, which is to uphold the Constitution and to protect the American citizens. So that, to me, is the beauty of it. We take people from all walks of life. They
Mm-hmm.
do not all have to be criminal justice
Oh,
majors like they
okay.
were in the past, because of the fact that the more diversity we have, it just helps us to do a better job in solving our cases and working our cases. And that's whether they're agents or professional staff.
So now typically, how do these jobs get advertised? Again, I never knew like if I'd have known you about 20 years ago
Mm-hmm.
before I joined the military, I probably would have walked right down the street to the job and applied for a job.
Look, it's not too late, Josh. We don't have an age restriction on professional.
They don't have an age.
Special agents, yes, but not on professional staff. So just always keep that in mind.
What's the age restriction of being an agent?
For a special agent, you have 37, because you have to have a fit for duty
Yeah.
requirement. And so you really have to start at age 30, 34.
Yeah.
Because you got to get not only through the mass test, the essay writing, and the 3-panel interview, but then you have to get through the background test and the fit test.
Yeah.
So that is what requires you to start a little bit earlier, so you
Yeah.
can
I couldn't be a special agent.
Okay, so then
Maybe about like 20 something, 25.
Well, the FBI has its own hiring portal.
Mm-hmm.
The other federal agencies will fall under USA Jobs.
Okay.
.gov. However, the FBI has its own portal, and you can go to FBIjobs.gov, and that's where you'll find all of the positions, the networks. You will find the qualifications and all the information, as far as we have 56 field offices throughout the country. And Newark happens to be number 7 because of the number of employees that we have.
Okay.
So that is how the numbers run. LA, of course, and Washington is 1, 2. New York is up there with 3. We're not a top 5, but we're 7, which is still pretty good size, because that's still more than 600 people.
Yeah.
And we have not just headquarters city, but we have 5 satellite offices throughout the state of New Jersey. So as close as West Patterson and far as away as Atlantic City.
Okay. Now I have a question. I'm not sure if you better answer this or not, but someone says, I know you can't discuss it in detail. Have you ever worked on a case concerning a celebrity?
We work all kind of cases, so it depends. Having 200 violations, I think we could say we probably have.
Yeah, but because you're like the administrative officer, so you deal like all like the clerical stuff.
Yeah,
Okay.
what we do is record keeping, procurement. We maintain all of the evidence, and like I said, IT infrastructure, the facility itself, maintaining the safety. There's a lot of different things that go behind the scenes to work all the cases that we do. So you can look at it just like you would a office manager of a business, and all of the components that go into that. We pay our own bills. We fix our own cars. We have to keep the lights on. We have to pay for every service or good that we buy. In addition to that, we're hiring, we're doing background investigations, security, physical security, as well as personal security.
Yeah.
Then we also do construction. I mean, we don't own the buildings, but we have to rent them out. We have to renovate them. So I have learned a lot of things that I would never have learned if I had not been working for the FBI, that I can transition to when I leave here.
Okay, another question. What are a few basic qualifications a person will need in order to get a job in the FBI field? Any basic?
Basic, I would say definitely you have to have good communication skills. It would benefit you to have strong computer application skills. Excel, now no one can survive without knowing Excel because everything somehow turns into a spreadsheet, pivot tables. So definitely computer skills. You have to be flexible and adaptable because no 2 days are alike.
Oh, wow.
And so you have to be able to pivot and go with whatever it is. If you're very anal and you have to have a to-do list and you can't function if someone takes something away from you, I'm not sure if that's the place for you because we're very reactive to things that happen, right? So we could have a day planned, but if there's a bombing or if there's a critical incident, all that goes out the window and we have to pivot. And that doesn't matter if you're agent or professional staff. You also need critical thinking skills, and you have to just be able to solve problems because you are on the front line. So even if it's mail and you're screening, you have to x-ray that mail. And you have to make sure that nothing comes into the space that hasn't been x-rayed, sorted, and looked at, because people mail all kind of things now. And it does, anthrax powder, it doesn't matter. We get all kind of things in the mail. So they're our first line of defense.
Yeah.
Even reception now is our first line of defense because there's people that want to get into the building that really cannot get into the building. So everything is critical.
I can imagine your mailroom guy be freaking out. Get an unrecognizable package.
Yes. We have protocols for that.
I can imagine.
Absolutely. And you need a sense of humor, huh, Josh? You need a sense of humor.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt. No doubt.
So I hope I answered that question for who posed it.
Oh no, definitely, yeah. No, that's good because again, it's good to know that like FBI is a different kind of job. Even at your level, like I said, if a bomb goes off, everything you have planned get put on the back burner, and now you guys got to help support the agents out there, and then of course that work don't go away.
That's correct.
So again, it could be very like in the same way the military. If something happens, no matter what you're doing or have plans to do, you have to like stop, focus on the mission at hand, take care of that, and then come back to what you're doing primarily. So yeah,
exactly.
What's the youngest age that a person can apply?
So if you're going for a professional staff position, you have to be 18 and over because of the fact that you have to have at least a high school diploma.
Okay.
So 18 for professional staff. If you are going to be a special agent, my suggestion is after college, and maybe 2 years, you need at least 2 years of work experience.
Okay.
What I try to show people is if you come in as a professional staff and get 2 years of work experience that way, say if you're straight out of college, then you can apply for a special agent while you're already employed with the FBI. But you need that 2 years of work experience, professional work experience, in order to apply. If you're coming from the outside, my suggestion is you need to be at least 25 plus in order to have the maturity level, in order to have some experiences that you can talk about, because you still have to interview. You still have to write an essay. And so it's better to have some type of professional work experience and not try to come straight out of college. So we find police, retired officers, people that switch careers, sheriff's department, doctors, we have lawyers, we've had priests, we've had, like I said, all walks of life.
Yeah, priests?
Yeah.
Apply to be what? To do what?
Agent. Yes.
I guess he's like, this priest stuff mean too much. I need to go.
The calling was a little different. That's all. I don't think so. We also have chaplains, just like you do in the military.
Oh yeah, how old you got to be a chaplain?
Yes, because we have chaplains under the Employee Assistance Program.
I can do that.
Different denominations.
I can do that. I'm ordained minister too, so.
Oh, so you wear many hats, okay?
Let's say my resume.
Look, I'll take it, but I'm not sure if we have that. But I'll definitely hold on to it for you.
Now, are there like part-time positions at the FBI?
We don't do part-time simply because, as I said, we're a 24/7 operation. And when you have a part-time employee, they count as one full-time. So when I say I only have 330 some odd people, if I start making them halves, I'm not going to get the same effectiveness from the staff. So especially when a half a person part-time, it counts as a whole person.
Oh, okay. So
I prefer not to do part-time. It's different if you are sick and you're full-time, but you need to recover and be part-time, but nothing where I'm gonna hire a part-time employee.
What about per diem workers or contractors?
We do, but we do not hire them directly. They get hired by Washington, D.C.
Okay.
So we do have contractors that work with certain areas, but we do not hire them. So our linguists, there's some foreign language people, analysts that are contractors because they work on a production scale.
Yeah.
And we have some that handle some legal matters on as a contractor as well. And Washington has a lot of contractors.
Oh, okay.
The field, not so much.
Okay. 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 Another question. If you were denied, can you apply again to work for the FBI? I guess the FBI.
If you were denied, I'm going to say it depends on what do you mean by if you were denied. So, for example, if you did not successfully complete the polygraph, you're not going to be able to reapply.
Okay.
If you discontinued yourself because you saw that you were not meeting some of the standards that they have,
yeah,
before they started your process, yes, you could reapply if you passed whatever was causing you to discontinue yourself.
Okay.
So does that make sense? If you
that makes sense, yeah.
Meeting one of the criteria and it says you have to wait 3 years before you could apply.
Reapply, yeah.
And you withdraw and you wait your 3 years and you haven't done anything that changes that, you can reapply. But if you do not pass the poly or if you do not successfully complete the background, you're not going to be able to reapply.
Oh, wow. Oh, now, could they apply for a different, like if they got denied by the FBI, could they apply for a different organization like the DEA or ATF?
Yes, they can.
Oh.
Can't guarantee you how you will shake out, but
yeah.
Yes, you can, because they have a different hiring criteria than the FBI does. So,
yeah.
For example, we go back to age 18 on every applicant. Some of the other federal agencies may only go back 10 years.
Oh, okay.
So there's a difference.
Oh, wow. Okay. Okay. Another question. If a person committed a crime over 30 years ago as a teen, could they apply for a job, FBI? I think you just answered that question.
Well, again, it's going to depend whether records expunged.
Okay.
They still a record, because I don't think there's a statute of limitation depending on what the crime is.
Okay. Okay. So so you're looking, so you're working for the FBI now,
Yes.
and you'll be retiring soon, correct?
Yes, correct.
And you're gonna be doing your coaching per se, geared to helping people, particularly females, right?
Yes.
Getting to start a career with the FBI. So so who will you be particularly looking for?
So right now, Josh, I am an internal coach with Department of Justice Network, and I do a lot of career coaching now. Folks can find me on LinkedIn, where they will send me their resume. And so I want to continue that when I leave the federal space as an employee, because I found that I've been able to successfully do that.
That's good.
Helped graduates that come out of school, and I've coached them. There's some that are still in school and they want to be interns the following year. So I have helped them with that piece. I also help military, those that are transitioning out of the military. Their resume may not speak to the position, right? They may say their inventory stock or radio transponder, but they need to convert that language into the federal space.
Mm.
So I help them with that because the FBI is, to me, a really great place for military because of their leadership skills.
Yeah.
And that's professional staff or agent, but professional staff especially because we work in teams. And so those natural leadership skills are just perfect for the
Mm-hmm.
FBI environment.
Oh, man.
And then I also like women who are working moms, 2 jobs, 3 jobs, and they didn't realize they don't need a college degree if
Mm-hmm.
their skills can translate into an entry-level position. Their kids are now in school and they're sitting home saying, wow, I wish I could do something, but I don't know exactly what I can do because I have this gap on my resume. And
Mm.
so I like to help them with questions in order to say, you could have a career with the FBI and you will have benefits, health benefits, life insurance if you choose. There's also the ability to go back to school. And the FBI does have a student loan repayment program and an education program if you qualify. There's retirement. There's a 401k as well as paying into Social Security. And then there's other benefits that go with that. For maternity leave now under President Biden, there's 12 paid weeks
Oh,
of
wow.
whether you're the dad or whether you're the mom.
Mm.
That never happened before. I mean, we had to go to public assistance because we had 6 weeks of leave without pay, and now they get 12 weeks of paid leave. It is such a blessing. I don't
That's good.
know if that train is going to continue after 2024, but for now, it is a blessing. Totally a blessing. And so for me, I just want to get that word out there and let women know, let military people that are transitioning out know, let college students know.
Yeah.
You can navigate this and you can end up with a career. As I said, I grew up in Jersey City, born and raised, had no idea that I get to travel the world, travel the United
Yeah.
States, and continue to enjoy myself every day because I'm making a difference with people.
Now, I have a
And
question. You said you grew up in Jersey City. What part?
yes, Lafayette.
Oh, we grew up. Yeah, we started. We grew up in Jersey City. On Randolph Avenue, I believe it was.
Oh, okay. So you're considered Greenville.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, we're downtown. We're Communiport Avenue.
Oh, yeah. I
So
know that. Yeah.
that's considered the Lafayette section down
Okay.
by that park. Yeah.
Yeah, we live like you know where the Turnpike is and the Liberty Park is.
Yes.
We
Yes.
live like right near there, like right a couple of streets right before you get to that turn to make to the Turnpike. Yeah, but we left Jersey City when I was about probably 5 years old, and we moved to Newark, and that's pretty much where we grew up the rest of our lives.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I'm born and raised until 18. I left
Oh,
Jersey City for a little bit, came back, but once I got married, I moved over to Irvington first, then Newark. I was in Newark for about 19 years, and I would have stayed in Newark. I love Newark, but they sold the house that we lived in,
oh,
and it was a fast, you got to get out because we're selling it tomorrow kind of thing.
oh,
And
wow.
Orange was the first place we found, and we took it.
Okay.
It's like we had to leave. There was no other choice.
Oh,
But
great.
definitely Newark, you could get around everywhere, and it was just so convenient. And we were
Yeah.
right across from the Salvation Army, so that was my
Oh,
feeder pool of kids that used to come to Camp Shakiulah every summer because we were always there, you know?
yeah. I think I told you my uncle he used to be a computer teacher at the Salvation
Yeah,
Army for like a couple of years. Yeah, his name Roosevelt Bacon.
Yep. My kids took his class, and so did my husband.
Oh.
See,
Oh,
I
wow.
knew computers. They had no idea.
That is-
And I couldn't teach them, Joshua, because they hard-headed. So it's like, go to him. He'll show you what to do.
Oh my God. So another question.
Yeah.
Do the FBI take into account a person's credit score?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
wow.
Because of the background investigation, the FBI will look at arrest checks, credit checks, and even neighborhood. As I said, they go to your college. If you have transcripts, they will speak to some of your references and non-references.
Oh, wow.
Yes. So they will look at your credit. And that's simply because of the nature of the work
Yeah.
that we do. You have to show that you're a low risk, right? So they will look at your credit.
I'm kind of confused though.
Okay. Come on, bring it.
I'm kind of baffled about this country here. They can do all this for a normal, everyday person.
Yes.
But do they run any checks to the president of the United States? Like, they do all this for the president of the United States?
I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole. I'm just going to sit in here and smile.
I mean, you gotta check my credit. Gotta talk to my friends. Gotta talk back to my high school class.
Check your roommates.
My 5th grade teacher.
Yes.
I'm just trying to get a job.
If they're alive, we're gonna find them because we want to talk to them about Joshua.
That's awesome, yo. That's awesome. But again, this is why, like, when we talk on Alignable, when you share to me about what you're doing and helping people get jobs, helping people coach them through jobs through the FBI, which again is definitely trying to get in there is a good job.
Yes,
and
no doubt.
Any job we work for the government is a good job and can really give you a way to start a career instead of working for Amazon.
That sounds personal, Josh.
I'm at the
That sounds really personal.
I'm like somebody may need this information because right now they're trying to like walk off their job at Amazon.
That's true. Even though sometimes we have people that will work at Amazon as a part-time job because they work overnight.
Yeah.
Amazon never stops.
Yeah. Oh man, no, Amazon is a beast. Boy, I'm telling you. I worked at Amazon too. Trust me.
Oh, yeah, that's no joke. At least we do let you sit down on your break.
Oh, yeah.
We don't have cameras watching you go.
No, I mean, I used to be in the military. I'm gonna go back to the army. I mean, they don't let you sit down for nothing. I mean, you can be standing there doing nothing, yes, and they don't want you to stand up on your feet. I'm like, what? I'm like, yes, I'm waiting here for you to tell me where to go. I can't sit down. Nope. And it's like I worked overnight. And I was running a full-time business, so I'll go to do my business in the morning, daytime. Then I'll go to the Amazon at night, and man, by 2 or 3 o'clock, I'm like,
he was tired.
Like, let me sit down somewhere.
That's no.
They hired people just to make sure you don't sit
down. Or they'll have one of those buzzers that say, "Oh, alert! This person's not moving." Set 10 seconds. They just standing still. Nah.
That's awesome. Yeah, like again, I wish I'd have known you probably a couple years, 20 years ago, before I went to the military, and then after I got out of the military, I could have got a nice little government job.
There you go. But everything works out for the best, right? Because you wouldn't have met me soon enough.
Definitely not. Yeah. So do we have any questions? Any more questions? One or two questions? Yeah, but again, once again, I want to thank you for coming on. I really appreciate what you're doing. It's needed. People are, especially people come out of college, not really knowing what to do or where to go. And maybe again, the FBI can be a place for them, or sometimes just getting your foot into the door.
Correct.
And then you may get foot in the door as like a professional, and then find other opportunities elsewhere, not just the FBI, but the rest of the branches. I'm sure that once you're in the door, transitioning becomes easier, correct?
Yes, and that's true, because one thing you'll find, even for FBI employees, they will go from agency to agency.
Okay.
Especially if they're in Washington, you will find more and more will switch agencies because it just gives them a better, well-rounded career.
Okay.
And so that just helps them to go further up in their career. It gives them more career advancement because, say, for instance, they may start with the FBI, but then they can end up going to the White House or EPA or one of the other agencies that is going to give them other opportunities that they wouldn't get with the FBI.
Okay.
And it's easier to switch from federal agency to federal agency. You get to take your leave, you get to take your thrift, you get to take, your benefits with you. It's not like you're starting over if you went from Chase to Merle Lynch. You're starting over. This way, federal government to federal government, you just keep transitioning. Even your hours that you earn get transitioned as well.
Then also, because you have different offices around the world, a person, it's easy to transfer to a different place, or just,
Yeah, absolutely. Because you could go to another state. FBI will give you 10 locations preference that you would like to work out of. You could pick 10 geographical locations, no ranking. And that in itself is a beauty, because you may start out in one state, but if you want to return home to family, or if you find that you just want a fresh start, you can end up going to another state.
Now I have a question. Do the FBI pick your places you go to for you, or is it like, hey, you've been for 3 years, we're gonna send you to Idaho?
Oh, no. But if you're a special agent, they can transfer you based on the need of the FBI. If you are professional staff, you transfer on your own.
Okay.
So there's the difference. If you put in for another job, you're competing for another job, so you would transfer on your own. But for some agents, they still compete as well for some things, and then other things they may get transferred to another field office.
Okay. Another question is this: do the FBI have any positions for disabled people?
Yes. They do, because agent, they do not, because there is a fit for duty requirement. But on the professional staff side, there is what they call an operational support technician, which is your entry level. And that entry level position can be anything from switchboard operator, radio dispatcher, reception, any of the records keeping positions. But then there's also other positions like intelligence analysts, there's linguists, there's support to the analysts. So yes, there are other positions that disabled or people that have disabilities can work in. And that's hearing or something that's physically impairing.
Oh, interesting. Oh, okay. And like you said before, another question, there's no age on applying for a job, particularly, or for professional, correct?
For professional staff, that's correct.
There's no age limit.
Age limit.
Oh,
No,
wow. Oh,
no.
interesting.
But you have competition, so you have to compete. It's not as if because of your age you're going to get the job. You
Hmm.
have to apply, so your resume has to be speaking to the vacancy that's posted. Then you would, if you get selected for an interview, you're more than likely going to be competing against others. So
Yeah.
you have to be prepared to say what value you're going to bring to the table.
Oh, oh.
But yes, everything is competition to get into the FBI. There isn't any, I know you, so I'm going to pick you today. They did away with that and nepotism a while ago. And don't talk about the White House because I don't want to hear it. Okay. I'm talking about the FBI right now. We don't do nepotism. Okay. Keep it that way.
That's awesome. So okay, so great. So, but well, also, guys, I want to let you know that it's always good to have somebody on the inside, and this is where the value of someone like Dorrisee comes in handy. That she's on the inside. She actually, I think she said she's over the HR department, correct? Or it's under your.
Under my umbrella, yes.
So tell the story about you about the person that have applied and was probably concerned about what's going on. You was able to really look in to see where they were.
Yeah, because she reached out to me on LinkedIn. She had applied for a position, but she hadn't heard anything else. And so she was concerned that nothing was happening. And so I was able to track it down for her.
Okay.
And I was able to find out that she's still in the running. They just have not made a selection as to an office. But one thing that I also was able to explain to her is that the position she applied for is only in Washington, D.C., even
Oh.
though her preferences were 3 local region areas. Excuse me, that position isn't there. That position
Oh.
is only in DC. So that's another thing that I'd like to help people understand, because position titles can be deceiving.
Mm.
It can sometimes be a little bit of a bait and switch, because it may not be a position that's in the field. And that's why I always try to talk to people about what they're passionate about and what they're good at, because that's how it translates into the positions that could be available for them.
Okay. Okay.
Don't look at the title all the time, because the title may not speak to what it is that you'll be doing.
Oh, wow. Now, just one more
So that
question
with the
from me.
military,
Say again.
you know that with the military, it's similar.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You could be a specialist and you're not a specialist.
Yeah. Yeah.
No,
Trust me,
just saying.
a specialist is not something.
Don't mess with the audience, Josh. Just saying. So
I've been in the military. I used to be a specialist. Trust me, when they say gonna be a specialist,
you're kind of general.
yeah, you got to spend a couple years in the military just to be somebody.
I get it. So yeah, so sometimes that jargon helps to be able to break that down for people.
That's good. Now, so again, now one more last question from me. Do the FBI have your own counselors?
What do you mean by counselors?
Like, therapists. Like, that do you guys hire like, therapists, counselors, stuff like that?
Okay, so under the employee assistance program, there are organizational psychologists, and there are I want to say they call them employee assistance counselors or peers, and there may be counselors there or psychologists there.
Okay. All right.
We also have what they call the Medical Operations Readiness Unit. And
Mm-hmm.
so that's where your doctors, and we do have nurses that that actually work on policy for the fit for duty requirement.
Okay.
Because that falls into not only a mental space, but also the physical.
Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Great.
And ever since COVID, we have definitely changed a lot in understanding mindfulness is important now, and actually taking care of employees, because we were really like type A, got to get the mission done. But COVID hit, and
Oh, wow.
it really had a mind shift on employees. You have to take care of the employees. So now there's a lot of wellness programs that have come out of that.
Now, question. One more question before we. Now, during COVID, did the FBI like shut down, or were y'all like still, you know?
Nah. Did the criminals shut down, Josh? No. We were still working 24/7.
Now, do y'all still have to go into work, or y'all was able to work from home?
No, because of the systems, we weren't allowed to really work from home.
Yeah.
There might have been some areas in Washington that were able to do that, but we had to come into the office in order to do that. So we were not, we socially distanced, but we were not able to shut it down. We just had to change, adapt.
Overcome, right?
Yeah, we had to change and adapt and wear a mask even now, because, you know, COVID is starting to go back to high in certain areas. So we had to adapt.
Oh, wow. Mm-hmm. Well, I take my hat off to you. Congratulations, you know, for 41 years, and for working with our government and FBI, you know, and thank you for, you know, your passion for helping people, helping other people, you know, get a career. You know, there's nothing like for a person to have something, and to have, especially something that they can start in, grow in, and you know, have a good career and livelihood. Because in these days, you know, things are getting kind of shaky. So, you know, it's good to know. So I'm definitely gonna be you know, share this video around. Like I'm a minister, I'm an ordained minister, so I know a lot of pastors, do a lot of networking, you know. And one of my goals is really just to help people, let people know, you know, that there's is a way that, you know, another way that you can probably earn a living, and it's possible that you can work with the FBI, and there's somebody that can pretty much take you by the hand, and walk you through that process. Well, thank you again. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
And I'll probably see you again on the lineup in probably a couple of days.
I hope so. There's going to be another BOB coming up soon. I think it's next week.
Okay, so
keep an eye out on it.
Great. Well, once again, thank you for coming on my show, and you know, hopefully you get some phone calls, because we put your information on it's going to be on YouTube Live. So once we record it, it's going to be up there. So people will go there and they see it and listen to this video, and if they're interested, they can give you a call and you know, help someone else. Thank you.
Well,
thank you.
I'm here, like I said, I'm here to help people just navigate through it, and I'm not looking to make money. I'm really looking to help people.
Yeah.
Public servants, because like I said, it's a reward. So I'm not trying to add to people's burden by giving them a bill.
Yeah.
I'm here about helping, and that's where I want to start.
Oh, that's awesome. Awesome. Matter of fact, I need to talk to you offline. You may know how I can get like a contract for my delivery service.
Yes, GSA's. You have to get on GSA schedule, so I will definitely have to talk to you about that.
Definitely. So we'll talk. I'll reach out to you probably next week, and we'll chat.
Okay. You know where to find me.
Yep.
I don't know
Dorrisee,
what
once again.
I do. I can find
Yes.
you if I want to, but I won't look for you. How's that?
Hey, I'm all over Facebook, so nobody, you don't have to look hard. You don't gotta look hard.
Thank you
Again,
so much.
I will be again. I'm sure once I share information around with some of my pastor friends, that's in the inner city in Newark. I'm sure they have a lot of congregants that are probably looking for jobs, looking for a way to have a career. But thank you once again.
Yes.
And Godspeed to all your endeavors. If there's any way I can help you, just let me know.
Okay, and me too. Just keep me in mind, okay?
I will. Thank you.
Thanks for the opportunity.
You're welcome.
All right. Have a good night.
You too.
Okay.